Welcome everyone, I'm Dale and this is Cinema Historia. Two orphan children with psychic powers, a wealthy eccentric, and a journey to a mysterious mountain. This week we're going back to 1975 for a fantasy science fiction film called Escape to Witch Mountain, starring Eddie Albert, Ray Milland, Donald Pleasence, Kim Richards, and Ike Eisenman. And this is directed by John Huff. Our magic and mystery begins this week with Tony, played by Ike Eisenman, and Tia, played by Kim Richards. They are brother and sister, whose surname they initially know only as that of their deceased adoptive parents, Malone. The children are placed in the Pinewoods orphanage, where they face difficulties stemming from their strange psychic psionic abilities. They display these powers during a ball game. Tony can psychokinetically move and control inanimate objects with the aid of his harmonica. Tia, who carries a star case, can communicate telepathically to Tony and commune empathically with animals and experiences premonitions. Tia has fragmented memories of her childhood, including an accident at sea and a man she later remembers as the children's Uncle Benet, who they believe drowned during the rescue. During a field trip to the Fine Arts Theater for a movie, Tia experiences a premonition and warns wealthy attorney Lucas Duranian, played by Donald Pleasence, against a potentially dangerous accident. Duranian informs his employer, millionaire Aristotle Bolt, played by Ray Milland, of the children's unique abilities. Bolt, obsessed with the paranormal, sends Duranian to the orphanage, where he poses as Tia and Tony's uncle and takes them to Bolt's mansion. Though suspicious of Bolt's motives, Tia and Tony are lured in by the wealthy trappings of Bolt's home. Finding a map in Tia's star case results in Tia and Tony making an escape using their abilities of psionically controlling guard dogs, a wild horse, and a security fence with the help of Tia's cat, Winky. A furious Bolt sends Duranian and a thug Uberman after the children, and the chase begins. Tia and Tony eventually hide out in a Winnebago motorhome owned by crotchety widower Jason O'Day, played by Eddie Albert. Initially negative towards the children, Jason gradually begins to recognize their powers and the truth of their story. So, avoiding the law, does Bolt and Duranian convince an incited mob that the children are witches and help in the chase? Or does a map and a premonition lead Tia, Tony, and Jason to the unexplainable phenomenon known as Witch Mountain? Released March 21st, 1975, our story is based on the 1968 science fiction novel of the same name by American science fiction writer Alexander Key. Film critics Siskel and Ebert gave the film 3 out of 4 stars, calling it a sci-fi thriller that's fun, that's cheerful, that's scary but not too scary, and it works. An 87% rating from the film critic Rotten Tomatoes states, "Wonderful film, away to Witch Mountain we go, and my favorite childhood film experience." And it was one of mine. I was 12 years old when I saw this with my family. It was great. And please click the links below for more Walt Disney classics. I did quite a few on my channel. I think you'll enjoy them. And our trivia question this week: were there some interesting film locations in our movie? Were there some interesting film locations in our movie? So a little more history and the answer to our trivia question. Well, that's next. Another character assisting Tia and Tony to Witch Mountain was bear actor Bruno the Bear, making Bruno the Bear the subject of this week's history. So Bruno, also called Ben or Gentle Ben, was a male North American black bear actor. Bruno was acquired by Ralph Helfer's Africa USA Animal Ranch sometime before 1965. At that time, Africa USA, located in Solidale Canyon near Saugus, California, provided trained animals to Hollywood for film and television work, including many Ivan Tors productions. Born at White Lake, Wisconsin in 1962, Bruno and a brother were orphaned as cubs and later acquired by Helfer from a private party. Impressed by his docile temperament and large size, Bruno was trained for acting work using Helfer's affection training system. This method seeks to establish bond between animal and trainer by the trainer giving affection and attention rather than relying on punishment or food rewards. Throughout his career, his weight, which fluctuated, was reported between 600 and 800 pounds, and his height has been variously stated at just over 8 feet tall. Bruno made his film debut in 1965 in the film Zebra in the Kitchen, about animals set free from a zoo. Bruno narrowly escaped death December 29, 1965, when an 8-foot deep flash flood hit Africa, USA, and a vast majority of animals were saved, but Bruno was washed away. A few days later, Bruno returned to the ranch of his own accord, covered in mud, scratched at his cage to be let back in. Bruno rose to fame when he appeared in the leading role of the adult Ben the Bear in the 1967 feature film Gentle Giant, and the 1967 to 1969 CBS series based on the film Gentle Ben. Other feature films in which Bruno appeared include the 1972 Western comedy drama The Life and Times of Judge Roy Bean, yes, that's with Paul Newman, and the family adventure movie The Adventures of the Wilderness Family from 1975. Bruno was known for his prodigious appetite with Coca-Cola, fruit, Tootsie Rolls, and lemon drops being his favorite foods. Perhaps the biggest working bear in the world, Bruno was also credited with over 400 television appearances. Bruno received a first-place Patsy Award for his work on the Gentle Giant film, and a second-place award for his work on the TV series Gentle Ben. Just amazing. He really makes this movie too. And the answer to our trivia question this week, were there some interesting film locations in our movie? Yes, there were. Yes, the Pine Woods Orphanage was actually Peninsula School of Creative Education in Menlo Park, California. This secluded 60-room mansion was built in 1880 and converted into a school in 1925. There are countless stories of hauntings in the mansion, which were played up in the original press materials for the movie. And this movie included a $3 million replica of a Byzantine castle built between 1926 and 1934 from lava rock from Mount Vesuvius and materials all over Europe. This castle served as Aristotle Bolt's kindly abode, Xanthus. I'd like to give a big thank you to all my viewers and subscribers. Thanks for tuning back in this week, everyone, and we'll see you soon.